Yeah, so I'm going to talk about some things. I like to listen to different people, like different type of teachings and things like that. Like even if I don't agree with everything that somebody says, there's always something that you can take. Even if it's one or two things, you can take something away from them. Even if you don't agree with everything they say, it's a lot to learn. Because not no two people are actually the same, so you can't help but to disagree. But I want to say this. Um, this guy was talking about how he's trying to do his thing, working and help people learn their rights and stuff like that, because it's time to, and what he said is making a lot of sense. But what's missing is what people don't understand is the black community and black leaders specifically are purposely keeping the black community at a low consciousness. They doing that on purpose. So it's not even a matter of let's do this. Like he's doing, like he has the right heart. Let me say, from what it sounds like in his interview, because I'm not too familiar with this guy. What's his name? Is it Minister Jew? Minister Jew. Now I don't have anything. I don't know this guy. It's my first time ever looking at him. So I don't have anything personal to say about anybody. If somebody else knows something about him, that's. But I've just like this little bit that I've heard him say so far. He was talking about how he's trying to help people to know their rights when it comes to the police and just the law in general. So they can take their power back, so they can be more empowered. Basically, he's empowering people, specifically black people, by knowing the law, so they can understand their rights. Um, and he's saying that he wants people to know their rights because he wants people to know their rights because of this constant talk about how they're being mistreated, about how they're treated less than, and specifically just being mistreated by the police. Specifically how they're being mistreated by the police. And to him, he said it's just time to move on. Like it's time to for people to get their power back so they can move past this stuff about how to just being mistreated. And so as he was saying it, I was thinking, well, that it's the leaders who continue to want to hold the black community, the black community at a low consciousness. It's the leaders that's doing that on purpose. They are literally being paid to make sure that black people stay at a low consciousness. So it's good that he has the right heart in educating folks. Yeah, it's good that he has the right heart at educating folks. But the black community in general don't want to be better, and so it's almost like it's not even like you're climbing you're going it's not even that it's an uphill battle, because even when something is uphill, with perseverance you can eventually make it to the top. So when it comes to the black community, it's not even an uphill battle. It's something that just cannot be. It's not going to work out. It's like they refuse. Like they refuse because you have leaders in the community that are literally placed there. They're plants to make sure that black people stay victims. They literally are paid to make sure that black people stay victims. And so when you have a group of people that are leaders, and then you have other people in the black community that's going to continue to sit there and listen to it. But that's it. I don't really have much to say. I don't need to be too wordy. I don't have anything else to say but that. I just felt like talking about that for a second. Now to switch the subject, I'm over that. Basically, black people, you have black leaders that are plants. They are paid to make sure, and they've been like that since I don't know when, since probably before my parents were born. You have black leaders that have been plants like that, okay? And my parents were born in the 40s, okay? And they've been there, and it's only gotten worse because at least they were more higher, a little bit more higher in consciousness. I think around the 40s and 50s, And around the 60s, it seemed like things took a turn after the 60s. Things took a turn. Okay. And the reason why I say I think the black community has always been fragmented because to get into a position where another group of people are able to conquer you like that, there was already something, you were already fragmented. No other group of people can come in and conquer you unless conquer another group of people unless they're already fragmented, especially another group of people that were once higher in frequency. You're talking about conquering a group of people that were once in a higher plane of existence. They were once in a higher frequency, higher ethers, non-ethers, and beyond. You're conquering a group of people that were non-ether and beyond. For that to happen, you were already fragmented. It doesn't make any sense to want to blame. You're really empowered. You're really the most empowered when you take responsibility. That you had to be fragmented in some kind of way to come to a level where somebody else is able to conquer you, and they're not even non-ether, like they're 6 ether or whatever they are, and they're able to conquer people who are higher in frequency. Then what happened? Something had to happen where the people who were higher in frequency had to fall, not the other way around. So that right there is already empowerment, to know that there had to be fragmentation amongst this group of people in some kind of way for another group who's lower in frequency to even conquer them. These people in lower frequency was able to conquer them through the mental, right? And change up the system and change up everything to their fitting, and then constantly to feed lies into a group of people and brainwash another group of people. But you have a lot of black people in the community, a lot of black leaders in the black community that are plants that get paid good money, that I think already received reparations, but didn't let the black community know that they've been had reparations, right? But they are paid well to make sure. Sorry. I'm typing something. Once again, I'm doing another evaluation. I just completed a home health evaluation. So I'm putting this in community mobility. All right. But anyway, yeah, you have people, these leaders that get paid well to constantly victimize the black community and paint the black community as victims. And then you have other people in the black community that have a hard time thinking for themselves, and it's no judgment. It's just what it is. It's just this plane of existence. That's the consciousness. They're not able to think for themselves. And so, and then it's almost like if you try to give them anything different than what they've been fed all this time, you're going to get a lot of pushback. It's almost like they're going to refuse to even empower themselves. They're going to refuse to even empower themselves. You almost don't have a choice but to move on if you want to try to. If you're thinking about helping everybody, even the majority of the black community, that's not going to work out. It's not even an uphill battle. It's just not going to happen. Like I said, even with the uphill battle, with perseverance and faith, you're going to eventually make it to the top. With the black community, the majority, it ain't no uphill battle. It's not going to happen. It ain't happening. Your best bet is to get people that's 15 and under. Like, I don't even want to mess with nobody that's 20 years old. Your best bet is to get them fresh. You want to get them at the age of even 13 and younger. That is a more positive, but you got to get the rest of the black people from around them. I hate to say this, but you do better having a lot of these black kids around a lot of white folks. I'm not saying, I know that how people think about white folks, but black people have a slave mentality. Not just a slave mentality, because even white people can have a slave mentality. The world in general have a slave mentality, because for the most part, people are not in a higher consciousness above their root, right? So, but you still, the white people don't necessarily have a mentality of being inferior. And even though a lot of them feel like they're above everybody else, you still have a better chance being around a group of people who are productive. For me, white people are more productive. They don't let all kinds of problems get in the way. They find a way to build. And so that's what I'm saying. A lot of these, even if you tackle people who are the kids who are 13 years old or under, you got to get them away. You have to get them away from the rest of black people. You almost might need to have to get them away from their parents. If their parents have that victim type of mentality, you have to get away from their parents. And so that's almost a lost cause trying to get the kids. You got to get them away from other black people. It's just no other way around it. You know? Now, you still can reach some people because even if they are around folks who are toxic, people, you do have some people that will eventually have a mind of their own no matter who they're around. And they'll eventually make the decision to get away from people who don't serve their best interests, you know? But anyway, off of that topic, here's where I am with myself. It's almost like it's been a blessing that I've been through the things that I've been through. And I know it's been a test because in my mind's eye, I was shown that this would be a test. I was shown the word test. And you know, this is a simulation, you know? And so now I'm at the point where it's really time to move past this plane of existence. It's time to move past this plane of existence. You know, I don't want to depend on anybody to keep my lights on. So when I say this plane of existence, it's time to be your own God. Meaning that I don't ever have to worry about somebody cutting off lights. I don't ever have to worry about somebody cutting off water. I don't have to constantly worry about what they doing with the food. They putting nano stuff and whatever they doing with the food, what they doing with the air. It's time to become a super being, right? A super being, X-Men or whatever you call it. It's time to become beyond human at this point, far, far beyond human. That's where I'm at with this. I don't have time for the shenanigans. I don't have time. Who you think be the best president? Neither one. And that's why I don't care about voting for either one of them. Well, if you don't vote, you can't complain. But you voted for two people who probably going to be equally horrible. I think one is going to be better than the other, and I think the one that's going to be better than the other is not Kamala. Let me just say it like that. I know people feel like because she's a woman and supposedly, I guess she has a vagina. I don't, because in the realm of the spirit, this lady is masculine. Or realm of the astral, because people keep calling it spirit the astral, but in the realm of the astral, because this thing that's in her, I don't believe exists in the real spiritual realm. The real spiritual realm is on a much higher vibration. This thing that's in her, I don't think exists in the spiritual realm. I'm going to call it the astral plane. People call it the spiritual, but it's the astral. That thing that I heard in her when I said that I had a dream about her after that doggone after that debate between her and Trump, which is really a stage, it's really a show, you know. I don't take that seriously too. It's all a show. But right after that debate, I had a dream about Kamala, and she didn't see me, or he didn't see me. I mean, I don't care. I already, even when I look at Kamala on TV, it looks like somebody wearing her mask. It looks like somebody wearing a mask that used to be the person Kamala Harris. That, like, it looked like whoever that is wearing a mask. But in the dream, I heard the thing talk, and it had a demonic type of voice, and it sounded very evil, and it's masculine. You know, and that's what I saw with Kamala. So I would not want her to be president. But then at the same time, do I want Donald Trump? No, I don't want any president. I'm not interested in no lesser evil. I'm not interested in lesser evil. Now, if you just have to be, if your conscious awareness is just going to have to be in an awareness where somebody's going to have to be president, I just would not be choosing Kamala. I know some people feel like they will because they feel like Kamala's a woman, because they think she's a woman, but that's something that's masculine that's in her. The real Kamala, I think, whoever that person is, the original person been gone a long time ago. So if they think that she's gonna be better because she's a woman, and they think that she's a woman of color, and think that she's gonna be favor black women, I beg to differ. She's not. Nobody's favoring black women. Don't even favor black women. Nobody's gonna favor black women. You better learn how to favor yourself, because nobody is favoring black women. Black women don't even like black women. So just because she's some woman of color, she's supposed to favor black women when black women don't even like black women? Okay. But anyway, I don't want anybody to be the president, and I'm going to do everything possible. I'm going to stay motivated. Keep my head to the sky, meaning my head towards my highest truth, my higher self or highest truth. Keep my head to the sky. Anyway, sorry, I'm paused. Because see, I still get interference when I try to think like that or talk like that. I get interference, but what can you do? I can't de-evolve, because if I stop trying, I'm only going to get worse. Just got to keep pushing, and this is why I'm going to keep going, because what is happening here? Something's happening, and I feel like I'm getting interference, because yeah, it's trying to distract me, but see, this is the problem with being physical, and that you can't help but to be distracted, because okay, now things are clearing back up. Something just happened there when I said keep my head to the sky. Yeah, these things don't like that. It wants me to stay lower, but I mean, I'm only going to be tortured. You know how the guys that didn't cross over the gate, at the guys at the gate or whatever, I forget the story because it's been so long. But it's like, okay, if we stay here, we're going to be killed. And if we jump over, if we try to get to the other side, we might be killed too. But we know if we stay here, we're going to be killed. And that's my thing here. If I stay here where I am, I'm only going to be tortured. I'm only going to die. So you might as well die trying, because, okay, if I die or whatever trying to get to the other side, well, I know I'm going to die if I stay here, right? So it's like I don't have a choice. And that's where I am with that. Anyway, that is it for that. And I'll talk later. Alrighty.